I'm Bunny Hill, Assistant Headmaster at Wichita Collegiate School. Today we're going to be talking about developing a love of learning in a child. Parents and teachers are always interested in knowing how to teach children to love to learn. And I think on this topic there might be 4 things to keep in mind. The first one will be giving them the right start. The second will be that sweet spot for where learning takes place. The third will be the bounce and the beam, and the fourth will be the value of rigor and hard work. So let's talk first about the right start. We're always so amazed when we see a child learn something, a baby learn something, learn how to walk, learn how to say mama, learn how to bang on the pan, and the excitement that comes with that first moment of learning. And as parents, we lament the time that comes when children don't seem to be as excited about the world and about what they learn. So those early years, we want that to be the way that we continue the process as humans. We want learning about the world and about everything around us to always carry that special excitement. The early years are really, really important to establishing a love of learning that can take place in school. Early on, little children need to learn to listen. They need to learn to be with other children and be able to learn from other children and when other children are around. They need to be able to freely manipulate and play with everything in their environment, and to wonder about it, and to begin to have an inner voice where they're pondering, questioning, exciting themselves about what is and what might be. Also, those early years from 0 to age 3 or 4 present a window of opportunity in the brain for learning language, for learning the sounds, learning how to put the sounds together, learning to understand the put together sounds as words with meaning, learning to say those sounds and those words with meaning, and eventually being able to attach those sounds to symbols so that they can learn to read. The best time to do that is those early years, and so a rich and stimulating environment at the beginning will lay the foundation to make things happen well later. The sweet spot that we want to be aware of as parents and teachers is that place between what I already know and what I don't know yet that keeps us engaged in learning. First grade is a very important time in the life of a child, because first grade will become the template for whether or not they see school as the place to learn exciting things. And if they come to first grade and they're not quite ready, it will always seem like a place that's hard and that doesn't make sense. If they come ready to learn, ready to sit for a while and work independently for a while and work on some material that they don't already know, if they're ready to do it and they can hit that sweet spot at school every day, then they will forever have that sense that school's a wonderful place to learn. On the downside of the sweet spot, if they're spending too much time with what they already know, there's boredom. On the upside of the sweet spot, if they're spending too much time in the I don't have a clue, I don't know this yet time, there comes anxiety. So it really is in between those two places that excitement lives. Athletes would call that flow. Artists would call that flow. I'm calling it the sweet spot where the love of learning grows. The bounce and the beam is the way parents and teachers can assess whether or not children are excited by learning at school. So if they bounce out of the car in the morning and can't wait to get to school to do whatever it is that the teacher said was going to happen that day, that's one clue that that's a good place to go to learn, and that learning is something children are growing to love. If they come out of school in the afternoon and get back in the car or on the bus beaming with something to share, or beaming with the pride of what has happened at school that day, what they've accomplished, then we know, in the bounce and the beam, we know that school is the place where love of learning is growing. And finally, it's the reward of rigor and hard work that's critically important to sustaining the love of learning, because we aren't learning if it's not hard, if it isn't hard work. We're just maintaining. There's nothing exciting about that. So a challenging curriculum, one that has rigor, is a curriculum that allows a child to engage in something that feels very important and very worthwhile and purposeful, and that's worthy of their effort. Hard work is a habit that becomes a learned habit that creates a sense of confidence and a sense of purpose in a child's life, and that's important to have this love of learning as well. So the love of learning begins at a young age. It will last a lifetime, but it should always be present in a school. If you have any questions about developing the love of learning in your child, you can contact me at bhill@wcsks.com. Thank you.